Hello, everybody. Faisal Talpur here once again. Hope you're keeping well. Okay, so this week has ended with a bang. A very, very, very good week, very constructive week. This week I was delivering, and I delivered, in fact, a talk on reverse engineering of entrepreneurship in a leadership program called Cambridge IFA. It stands for Cambridge Islamic Finance Leadership Program. It was being held at the University of Cambridge. And apart from the experience of discovering Cambridge for the first time, the university for the first time, having good tours, and having to know about the history of what the university is all about, which was absolutely fascinating. Regarding the talk, I'd like to discuss a couple of things, really. So what it was that this concept of reverse engineering of entrepreneurship is something that I have been working on for a few years now. And it's something that I have been using for, to implement successful businesses for myself. I've been using this to, the concepts, the theories, the actual formulas and the frameworks behind it, which I've developed for years. I've been using it for to establish businesses for our clients as well. However, let me give you a few takeaways from the talk and the entire experience of what I felt throughout this whole week. Because it's such a revolutionary concept, or perhaps it's such a non-conventional concept, it's something that that challenges the norm of how businesses work today. And because the talk was being delivered to some of the leaders in the finance world, I was actually concerned as to how it will be received. Because this was going to be for the first time that I was going to openly talk about it. And the ideas float about, in everybody's mind, for people to perhaps, find out exactly what it is and to critique it. That was the whole point. That, listen, this is what I believe. This is what has worked for me. This is, a very heavily researched topic that I've been working on for years. And the whole idea of putting it in front of people was to have some sort of a feedback, to have an understanding of, whether, it is being widely accepted. It is going to be widely accepted. So from my point of view, it was, on many levels, it was trying to understand whether it is it is an idea which can be floated about and floated into the market, and people will readily accept it, because I had been experimenting with it for some years, and it had worked miracles for me, and just like I said, for my clients. But to openly put it out there, I had my my concerns. So so the takeaways of the talk was, my understanding is that I always take bold steps, and this week and this talk has actually reinforced that particular strength in me. So I took a bold step. I put that idea forward, and it was actually very widely liked by most of the people who heard what I had to say. I had a lot of positive remarks during the talk. Very, very good question answer session just before the talk ended. And straight after the talk, I had even better response when people personally came to me and said that it was a fresh approach. It was something that they had not heard of before. Now, mind you, people who were the attendees of this event, they were the top leaders in the finance world, and we are looking at roughly about 10 to 15 different countries. So they were the decision makers, they were the policy makers, they were at their top position, right? So it was very easy for them to critique it. It was very easy for them to perhaps come back and say, what you're talking about, either it doesn't make sense or it's not going to work. So from my point of view, it was also getting some sort of a validation from a lot of these people who have seen the world. These are the people who are actually, making the finance of this world run. Okay, so from that point of view, it was absolutely fantastic. So what is the real takeaway from my point of view, and what I would like to suggest that you do, be it in business, be it not in business? Do not be afraid to try new ideas out. Okay, that is probably the best advice and suggestion I can give you. I usually am very bold. I only have one and only one criteria which ever holds me back, and that is when I question myself if I'm harming anybody in the process. So if I come up with a concept or an idea, and I think it may be, life changing, it may be game changing, it may be disruptive, it may be, revolutionary, it's maybe non-conventional, it's not something that people are going to like or not like, you don't know unless you put it out there, right? So the whole point of an idea is that you've got to try it. Otherwise, that idea is nothing but a thought which came in your mind and will die in your mind if you don't action it. And if you action it, then of course the only way for you to find out is you put it out to the world and see, what is the response. And what I usually find is that 9 out of 10 people are very polite, are very good, are very, how to put this, generous with their feedback. Okay, and that's exactly what you're looking for, right? And sometimes even the skeptics who do not like it, they come back from a different way of thinking. And that is something that you've got to also take on board, because don't forget, you have people, you have your audience, your target market will also be partly full of those skeptics as well. So you've got to keep those people in mind. But getting back to the point, what I'm trying to make here is that do not be afraid to try things out. Do not be afraid to put it out to the people, especially to your marketplace, to figure out whether this is something that is going to be liked by them or not liked by them, because that's the only way for you to validate whether you're on the right track or you're on the wrong track. For me, it was a very crucial and a very big decision, because I had been working on it for years. So if it was to be trashed out by everybody or most of the people, I would be gutted. Not that I would stop working on it, because I think I'm quite stubborn. If I believe in something, I go for it, no matter what. But it would have thrown me aback, right? So once again, I repeat, it doesn't matter how big, how small, how huge your idea is. You have got to give it a go. You have got to try it, and do not be afraid. You will be surprised. There are a lot of good people out there who will be able to support you, right? I think that is the thought. I just thought I should plant in you. If you are holding back anything, or in the past, in fact, at the event, I had a few people who had been holding back on a few things, and they approached me and they said, we are going to give it a second go, after this talk of yours, because it's inspired us on many different ways, so on many different levels. I hope that has made some sense today, guys. And keep on listening to my videos. Every now and then I get involved with doing some value videos, training videos regarding entrepreneurship, regarding business growth, and what have you. I hope it has made some sense today. My name is Faisal Talpur. For now, thank you very much. Adios.